Hey folks, welcome back to Mears Lab. In today's episode, we're going to be checking out this amazing instrument tuner. It's called the Snark ST2 Super Tight Chromatic Clip-On Tuner. So what is this thing? It's a little instrument tuner. Well, you can see it's just about the size of the palm of my hand, and you can use this to tune pretty much any kind of musical instrument. And it works super easy as well too, and really fast. All you have to do is you use this clip right here and you just clip it onto whatever you want to tune, and then it senses through vibration, and that allows it to tune really accurately and really fast. And then a little needle shows up on the display here, and then that is how you know when your instrument's in tune. In this video, we'll go over all the features and the benefits of those features as well too. So stay tuned if you're interested in the Snark ST2 Super Tight Chromatic Clip-On Tuner. Let's get started by going over the features and the benefits for this Snark Super Tight Tuner here. So the first feature I want to mention is this beautiful full color display that rotates in a full 360 degrees. It's really easy to see it from any angle at all, and that means it doesn't matter what kind of guitar you have or what angle the headstock is angled at or what side the tuners are even on, because you can rotate the display to see it at whatever angle you need to see it from, whether you're sitting down or standing up or playing live or anything like that. It's funny how some of those small things can actually make such a big difference at the end of the day. One of the other benefits of it is that it sort of like raises your awareness. Now I know that that sounds silly, but like just the simple fact that if you can easily rotate the tuner so that you can see it all the time from like any different angle, then that means that you're gonna know when your instrument is in tune and out of tune. And that's a really beneficial thing, right? Because it's always good to know when your instrument's out of tune, of course, right? And you know, one of the other benefits of that is that you'll use it more often, right? Like it's easier to see, it takes less effort to use, and because of that, you're way more likely to use it. Well, we know that you will be in tune more of the time then, and well, what happens when your instrument is in tune more of the time? Well, it just makes your music sound better, right? And isn't that what we all want at the end of the day? We just want to enjoy music even more. And who would have known that a cute little tuner like this can help us to enjoy our music more, right? Cool. Anyways, let's move on to the next feature here, because that's just the first one. There's so many other cool features about this thing here. Let's talk about the, as they like to call it, the stay put clip. How it works is, well, basically it's really nice and snug, but the cool thing about it is it has this like super grippy rubber interior here, and the way that they've designed it with this cool sort of like strappy bandy sort of thing right here is that you don't really have to worry about this damaging your instrument, and it will tightly grip the instrument as well too. Now both of those things are important because it has to grip the instrument tightly to tune accurately, because remember, it tunes through vibration. But the thing about that is you get another benefit from it as well too, and that means that the tuner is not going to fall off your instrument while you're like moshing and rocking and rolling and jumping all over the stage, or maybe just sitting there nice and calmly as well too. You know, you never know when your tuner's gonna fall off. Really, the best insurance that you have against that is a stay put clip. And I can't speak for any of the other tuners, but I will say with total confidence that this Snark ST2 Super Tight Tuner has an official stay put clip. Super cool. Because it has that really nice stay put clip, it helps it to have more accurate tuning. So you will be more in tune and your music will sound better and you will enjoy it more. How cool is that, right? Wow. It's amazing. Like even those first two features sort of come back to the same benefits at the end of the day. I wonder what'll happen with the rest of these features. Well, let's keep moving on here, folks, because this is kind of fun. Okay, so next up, I want to talk about the tap tempo metronome that's built into it. Super, super cool feature and so convenient as well too. That's right, it has a metronome built into it. And just super quick, in case you're not aware of what a metronome is, it's like a little device you can usually buy all on its own, and all it does is it helps you to keep time. It just has like a steady sort of like ticking sound to it, and you can change the speed of that ticking, and that allows you to sort of, when you're practicing your instrument, to play in time with something so you can improve your rhythm capabilities. But one of the drawbacks to having like your own standalone metronome is that it's like another thing you got to pack up and take with you. And you know, like I like packing as much stuff into my bag as much as the next person, but really what I like more is not packing stuff. And that's one of the cool benefits. It has the metronome built right into it. So, you know, when you're just hanging out at home and you're playing your acoustic guitar in your bedroom and you know, and you just want to get a little bit better rhythm, every once in a while you can just flick the button and then turn on the metronome. See, it's just right back. Where is it? Yeah, there's the button right there. You just hit the button and then it turns on the metronome. It's super cool. One of the benefits of having a metronome built right into the tuner, it's so convenient, and because of that, you're way more likely to just simply use the metronome. And because you're way more likely to use it, it means you're going to have better rhythm. And when you have better rhythm, it means that your music is going to sound better, and you're going to love playing music even more. What? It has the same benefit as everything else. What? Who even knew that this tuner could make you love music so much, right? Wow, I can't believe I've only gone through 3 features so far, and there's like a bunch of other features still yet. So maybe I'll try to breeze through the rest of them real quick here, because I'm starting to get so excited. I don't even know if I can make it all the way to the end of this video. But anyways, I'm going to do the best I can and hang in there for you folks, because I love this tuner, and I really want you to love it as much as I do as well too. Next up, we've got this transpose feature. It's kind of like having a capo. You can change the key of the song. And the way it works is you sort of like use these arrows here, and you can sort of like make the key of the music sort of like go up like 1 fret at a time, or like down 1 fret at a time. Like I said, it's kind of just like having a capo on your guitar, so you can change the key of the song really quickly. And one of the benefits of that is it allows you to learn more songs, because you don't need to buy more stuff. You can just hit the button on the tuner that you already have, and then that can sort of change the key that it's tuned to, so that it's a lot easier to play those songs on guitar that are like tuned a half step down, or you know, that sort of stuff. Or maybe playing along with a piano at the local community hall that's, you know, it's trying its best, but really it is a little out of tune, let's be honest here folks. And you really just want to play in tune with that piano, right? That's one of the cool benefits of the transpose feature, is it allows you to learn more songs and play with more instruments that are a little harder to tune, you know, that take a little bit more time and effort, like a piano. And one of the benefits of that is you're just gonna have so much more of a diverse repertoire whenever you're playing, right? Well, what's one of the benefits of that? I bet you could guess by now. Well, your music is just going to be so much more enjoyable, because you're going to have so much more diversity in your music and so much more influence in your music. And it'll be so much more original and creative and really satisfying as well too, you know? And who would have known that we could have realized all that by these 2 little buttons in the back here that allow us to change the transposition of this super tight tuner here. So cool. Okay, while we're on the topic of changing notes around and pitches and things like that, well, how about we talk about the sweet pitch calibration feature that's built into this? So what is that? Well, it means that you can adjust whether the notes are a little sharp or flat, even though they say they are in tune. So here's what I mean by that. Like that last feature with transpose, it kind of is the same thing, but it moves the notes like 1 note at a time, right? Where the pitch calibration allows you to change how the tuner is calibrated, just like the transpose feature, but it means that you can do it in like a really precise way. So let's say you were tuning to a piano that was just a little flat. Well, you can set the tuner so that it is reading notes that are a little flat, so that even when it says that the needle is right in the middle and it's perfectly in tune, it's actually a little flat, but you wanted it to be like that because you changed the pitch calibration of this. And not all tuners allow you to do that, and that is a really high-end feature, and it's really cool that it's built right into this tiny little tuner that's super affordable. How cool is that? One of the best applications for that, like I was mentioning about the old piano, is it's really handy for fiddle players who are trying to tune to an old piano. I see that a lot where I live here on the east coast of Canada, because there really are a lot of community halls here. There's dozens of them where I live, and you know, there's always an old piano in the corner of the room, and everybody really likes to play traditional music here with lots of acoustic guitars and fiddles. And that darn piano is always out of tune because the humidity fluctuates here all the time. This is a great way that you can sort of get around that, and it helps you to keep in tune with that piano. It's useful for when you're performing on stage, where you don't want to tune to another musician, or especially like out and loud in front of the whole audience and everybody else that's in the hall. You want to tune silently, and this is how you can do it. And the benefit of that is simply, you just appear a bit more professional, really. That's more enjoyable for your audience, really, right? It helps your music sound better and helps your audience enjoy the music a little bit more whenever everybody appears professional on stage, and they're especially they're listening to more music than people tuning then, right? And so that's one of the things I think is really beneficial of the pitch calibration feature. Now it's time to talk about the high sensitivity vibration sensor. And that's really the whole heart and soul of this tuner right here, the meat and potatoes of it, as they say. That's what allows it to do what it really does best, which is be a really, really good tuner. It is really fast, really accurate, and really, like, I can get into all the techie sort of nuts and bolts about it, but I just want you to know that it really is an awesome tuner. What its number one primary function is, it is very good at that. I just want to be super clear about it. The reason why that's so beneficial is pretty simple, really, but it might be something you didn't really think about. You know, you just think, well, it's a more sensitive vibration sensor. Of course, it's going to tune better, but like, why is that? You know, and that's one of the things that I am interested in here at Mears Lab, is figuring out why about the things that we are interested in, you know? Well, so here it is. The notes will display longer on the screen. When you pluck a note in your guitar, it has like a loud, sort of like it's loud at the start and then it gets quieter as the note sort of drops off, right? Well, the thing is, you need to have a sensor that is really high quality, and that just means, like, you know, like the little electrical components that are inside of it, right? It needs to have a sensor that's super sensitive so that it can detect that note for a longer period of time as its volume is dropping off and it's getting quieter and quieter. The more sensitive the sensor, the longer it can detect the note for, and then the longer the note will display on the screen for. And that's really useful, for example, when you're, like, say, tuning your D string on your acoustic guitar and you pluck it once, and then sometimes I've found with some tuners, like, the note only displays on the screen for like a second, and you got to pluck it again, and it seems like every time you pluck the note, it's like a tiny little bit more sharp or flat, and it just makes it like hard, and really it's just frustrating, you know? And who wants that? We just want to play our guitars. And that's one of the reasons why I think that simple little feature is actually so super beneficial, because that high sensitivity vibration sensor allows the notes to display on the screen for longer. So that means that you're actually going to be able to spend less time tuning, more time playing music, and your music is simply just going to sound better. How cool is that, right? Okay, let's move on to the next feature here now. Extended frequency range for all instruments. Wow, that is a really useful one as well too. Not really complicated, you know? It just means that really you just only need one tuner, because this tuner is able to pick up all the really, really low notes that are on a piano all the way up to the really high notes that would be on a piano. Pretty much all of the musical notes that any musical instrument makes anywhere in the world. And that means that you only need this one tuner. It keeps life really simple. You only have one thing to look for, one thing to store, one thing to learn how to use. And that just means that you're going to end up spending more time playing your instruments and more time enjoying music. Well, you know what that means by now, folks. It means your music is going to sound better and you're going to love playing music even more. Okay, so let's go to the next feature here. It gives you the ability to actually not even use the vibration sensor if for whatever reason it's just not working. And sometimes it does happen like that for whatever reason, you know. One of the applications I found it is a little tricky to use these clip-on tuners is with a upright bass. Like a big, you know, like in jazz music, those big upright stand-up basses. They're always a little tricky to find a place to clip this on. So usually I clip it onto the big bridge sort of thing on it. But even so, it's just because of like the way that the instrument vibrates and the pitch of the notes and things, it does make it very difficult for a vibration types of tuner to pick it up. Now, I was really excited. I just went over all those amazing features, and I don't want what I just said to discredit all those features, because everything else I said is 100% true. But the fact of life is not everything is perfect, right? So that's why they built in the internal microphone, because in those instances, which are once again very rare, where the vibration sensor doesn't work, well, all you have to do is you just flick this little switch here, and then it has a little microphone right here, see? And then it will just tune with the built-in microphone instead. And then whenever you're finished, you just put it right back onto the vibration setting, and there you go. And then you've got your instrument tuned. So once again, you didn't need to bring another thing with you. It's really useful. That is such a great benefit, really, because in the rare cases then that the vibration function doesn't work, well, then you have an alternative, and that makes it super reliable. You know that you can rely on it to get you tuned no matter where, when, or what you're tuning, right? Well, because of that, you're more likely to be in tune more of the time, right? And because of that, your music's simply just gonna sound better. So the next feature I want to mention is how this Snark Tuner, the ST2, now has an upgraded faster chip than the previous version. What does that mean? Because it is really, that's a pretty techie thing. It means that this newer tuner right here, it looks exactly like this. If yours looks like this, it has that upgraded faster chip in it. This tuner can process data really fast. And that means that there's only a teeny tiny amount of time between when you hit the note on your instrument and when the tuner displays what note it is that you hit. You know, that's really important because then you end up spending way less time tuning and more time playing. That's another way that you can make your music sound better. Those previous features that I've already discussed, it makes this the highest accuracy ever for a Snark Tuner. The needle on the display, it doesn't jump around all over the place. You get a much better idea of how in or out of tune you are because of that, which increases your confidence whenever you're tuning your instrument and you're playing on stage. And we all know how important confidence is in life, right folks? And because of that, your music is gonna sound better and people are just gonna love listening to you play. And how cool is that, right? Okay, so last feature is the high resolution screen. It's really bright. It's full color. This screen is absolutely gorgeous. It's easy to read in bright viewing conditions, like even if you're outside on a bright sunny day. Or of course, it's easy to read like whenever you're just hanging out in your living room or playing a gig or in the garage or whatever, you know? Just like a lot of the other features, you end up spending less time tuning and more time playing your instrument. And because of that, your music is gonna sound better. And because of that, people are gonna love listening to you play as well too. And that's one of the real beautiful things about music at the end of the day, isn't it? It's something that we all get to share together. And who would have known that a tiny little tuner like this could just really just bring so much joy? Well, folks, it's time to wrap up this episode about the Snark ST2 super tight chromatic clip-on tuner. If you enjoyed it, then you can click the like button. And if you'd like to see more content like this, well, you can subscribe to the Mears Lab channel because I've got all kinds of cool stuff like this and more coming up. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you next time.